Economics, what could go wrong in 2025? Hi, I'm lousagatov. I'm with Century 21 Redwood in Arlington, and I'm also a custom builder. So, looking at 2025, there's a lot of unknowns coming into this. So let's look at a couple of the areas of the economy that affect mostly housing. And let's just take a little tour. So, the housing market back in September 2024, we were getting really optimistic. The Fed was dropping rates, interest rates, mortgage rates. We thought were going to be creeping down. There was a little more inventory. Consumer confidence was up. And what happened? Well, interest rates didn't go down the way we expected them, and but we ended up with 2024 with a good year as far as housing sales. Overall sales were down, but it was good. So what do we expect in 2025? We expect an increase of inventory, which is going to be fantastic. We're going to see housing prices or values creep up a little bit, but and I hate using that word, but we're going to be in a volatile mortgage interest rate environment. So you would think that the federal interest rate affects the housing mortgage interest rate. And the short answer is it doesn't. The housing mortgage interest rate is totally driven by investors. And while the federal rate is one of the factors that investors look at when determining what they're going to charge for mortgage interest rates, it is only one part of it. So they're looking at the entire economy, they're looking at the present, and they're looking at the future. What do we see in 2025? I have no idea. The talk around at the end of last year was six was going to be the new normal, but now we're in the eights. So it's going to be a choppy affair for us in 2025. Um, Federal interest rates have come down. Do we see, or there's talk right now that people are anticipating another drop in interest rates? The economy is very strong currently, and consumer confidence is up. So we don't really see that there's going to be a drop in interest rates. Interest rates really they affect us tremendously, but just they don't directly affect us on the housing side. Consumer confidence and consumer spending is up. Uh, the economy is driven by roughly 70% of consumer spending. That is coming out of people's savings and out of home equity. Um, will that crack in 2025? It depends on what happens with the economy. We have a new administration coming in shortly, and administrations affect not only a global economy, they affect a national economy. And so, depending on what the goals are of the new administration and how they are implemented throughout the next couple of years, will may affect the housing market one way or the other. Things that we need to look at are going to be tariffs, or how are tariffs, if they do materialize, how are they going to affect housing costs, material costs, mass deportations, and how it's going to affect the housing market. Uh, you know, the labor market will be affected not only for housing construction, but all the other elements that go along with housing. We have furniture manufacturing, we have all those different components that support or are part of housing that we don't really think about as housing, but it's all part of this big cocoon. Um, and then the final thing is how are interest rates going to impact the housing market? So those are really the three things that we need to be watching are going to be tariffs, deportations, and interest rates. And finally, the stock market. The stock market, although a small portion of Americans own stock, the stock market does drive consumer confidence and enthusiasm. And it's been some stocks have done tremendously well this year, and some stocks have it's been a little choppy. So um, the what I'm reading is that we'll expect a little bit of a choppy, depending on the sector, just expect a little bit of a choppy stock market going forward in 2025. So that's kind of what's going on. The question really that comes to mind is, from the housing standpoint, is depending on what your goals are. You really just educate yourself about what your options are, where things are going, and where you want to go. I'll give you a great example. A couple of years ago, I had people saying that they weren't going to buy because interest rates are going up, and they're waiting for interest rates to come down. And so, in the meanwhile, people that bought as those interest rates were rising also bought into an incredible price appreciation time for housing. So um, don't look at one little segment. Look at the entire segment. Look at your goals, and figure out where you want to be, and where your goals are as you make these decisions. That's all I have for now. I hope you and your family have a fantastic, joyful, happy, and healthy 2025. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, or reach out and connect with me directly. Till then, take care.